We've been told for generations that if you work hard, stay disciplined, and seize the right opportunities, you can rise, that you can do better than your parents, that the ladder of success is there for anyone willing to climb. But what if that ladder is broken? Across continents, in rich and poor nations alike, people are waking up to a stark new reality. The promise of upward mobility, the foundation of modern capitalism and democracy, is fading. Why is social mobility collapsing around the world? Who is still rising? Who is stuck? And why does it matter more than ever? You are watching Nexus-Feed, where global headlines meet deep analysis. Thanks for joining us on another thought-provoking video. Now let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. Social mobility refers to the ability of individuals or families to move between social or economic strata in a society. There are two key types: absolute mobility. Are you better off than your parents were at the same age? Relative mobility. Can someone from the bottom rise to the top? Both matter. But while absolute mobility may still exist in some developing countries, relative mobility has been declining nearly everywhere. According to research by economist Raj Chetty, in the US, 90% of children born in the 1940s earned more than their parents. By the 1980s, that number had fallen to just 50%. Similar patterns are emerging in the UK, Germany, South Africa, and even China. So what's going on? The inequality trap. One word, inequality. But not just inequality in wealth, inequality in access, in geography, in hope. The rich are pulling away not just financially, but socially and culturally. They marry each other, live in the same neighborhoods, send their children to elite schools, and pass on wealth, both financial and symbolic. This forms what some call a wealth trap, where the bottom stays at the bottom not due to lack of effort but lack of access. Research shows that success increasingly depends on non-meritocratic factors: your zip code, your accent, your social network. In other words, who you know, not what you know. So even as economies grow, the ladder gets steeper and the rungs farther apart. Education, the great equalizer, or not? For decades, education was the golden ticket. It was the magic escalator to the middle class. But the escalator is stalling. In developed countries, college degrees have become almost a prerequisite for decent jobs. But as more people obtain them, their value has diminished. The result? Degree inflation. A race to the bottom, even as tuition costs soar. In developing countries, the situation is more dire. In India, for instance, millions of graduates are unemployed or underemployed. Not because they lack education, but because the economy doesn't generate enough skilled jobs. Meanwhile, elite institutions remain out of reach for most. Education isn't leveling the playing field. It's becoming a mirror that reflects existing inequalities. Geography is destiny. Where you're born might now matter more than who you are. In the United States, a child born in Salt Lake City has a far better chance of escaping poverty than one born in Atlanta. In the United Kingdom, northern cities still lag behind London in upward mobility. In Brazil, favelas remain traps of inherited poverty despite national economic growth. Geography is intertwined with infrastructure, education, healthcare, and social networks. In the era of globalization, many thought the world was flattening, but in truth it's become more stratified, locally and globally. Digital nomads may thrive in this world, but for billions, their location remains a barrier, not a launch pad. Then comes technology, the double-edged sword of the 21st century. AI and automation are reshaping labor markets, especially for routine or middle-skill jobs. The World Economic Forum estimates that by 2025, 85 million jobs could be displaced globally, even as 97 million new ones are created. But here's the catch. The new jobs demand higher cognitive and digital skills, often concentrated among the already privileged. Meanwhile, platforms like Uber or TaskRabbit offer gig work, but rarely real mobility. You're working more, earning less, and still stuck. We're entering a world where technology is not just replacing labor, but also deciding who gets a chance to succeed. Family wealth, the silent engine. In many countries, the single biggest predictor of future wealth is simple: how much your parents had. Inherited wealth is skyrocketing. In the United States, over $84 trillion will be passed down by 2045. In China, family-run businesses dominate. In parts of Africa and South Asia, land and property remain key to dynastic wealth. This means that those born into affluence start life several laps ahead. It's not just about money. It's about connections, confidence, and cultural capital. And while some governments have inheritance taxes or welfare programs, few are strong enough to truly level the playing field. Case studies in collapse and hope. Let's zoom in on a few nations. United States. The land of opportunity has among the lowest relative mobility in the developed world. Race and class still strongly predict outcomes. United Kingdom grammar schools once helped working-class kids ascend. Today, elite schools like Eton dominate leadership, finance, and politics. India. The rise of a middle class hasn't erased caste, geography, or gender barriers. Many remain trapped in informal work despite higher education. China economic growth lifted hundreds of millions out of poverty, but social mobility has slowed. The urban-rural divide and test-based systems now sort people early and rigidly. Nordic countries, still relatively mobile, but even here wealth is concentrating and immigrant populations face growing barriers. So what's the takeaway? The dream is unevenly alive, and in many places it's dying. Why it matters, mobility and democracy. Why should we care? Because social mobility isn't just an economic metric, it's the bedrock of democracy and stability. When people believe they can rise, they invest in society. They support institutions. They tolerate inequality because they believe it's temporary. But when the ladder breaks, trust erodes, frustration festers, populism rises. Mobility isn't about everyone becoming rich. It's about giving everyone a fair shot. Without that, we risk a world of entrenched elites and permanent underclasses, a feudal system with better branding. The idea of the self-made person may be mythologized, but it was once more real than it is today. To restore mobility, we need bold policies, equal access to quality education, investments in infrastructure and healthcare, tax reform to reduce intergenerational wealth hoarding, and most of all, a cultural shift from individual success to collective uplift. Because the real measure of progress isn't who reaches the top, it's how many people can rise. The ladder may be broken, but it can be rebuilt. That's it on this edition of Nexus-Feed. We go beyond the breaking news to uncover the bigger picture, exploring the political, economic, scientific, and technological forces shaping our world. Until our next one, stay curious, stay critical, and keep safe.